Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see about a plate heat exchanger. First, what's meant by a plate heat exchanger? Uh, it is a highly efficient types of heat exchanger, often for a purpose of heating and cooling. It consists of a series of thin, corrugated metal plates sticked together and separated by a gaskets, creating a large surface area for efficiency heating exchanger. So in a plate heat exchanger, it has a couple of plates which connected each other and separated by using a gasket, which has a high surface area, which good for efficient heat transfer. This plate heat exchanger is widely used in various industries due to the compact design, high heat transfer efficiency, and versatility and easy maintenance. Let's see the parts of a plate heat exchanger. So first image is a realistic image of a plate heating exchanger. And the next one we have a parts of a plate heat exchanger. First we have a front cover which covers the front, and we have a plate which used for heat transfer, and we have a back cover, and we have connecting nuts to connect the plates and the front end and back end as well, and we have a gasket to separate the plates and prevent the leakage of a heat transfer, and we have a tightening bolt which used for connecting a front end to a plate, and also used for connecting both front and back end as well. So in the first image we can see a excessive amount of tightening bolt which is used for extension purpose or a modification. So next let us look the working of a plate heat exchanger. A plate heat exchanger consists of a series of thin plates with alternating channels for the two liquids or fluids. So it has a series of thin plate which is connected in alternating channels for the two fluids. So the plates are pressed together, creating a series of alternating flow channels for heat and cold fluid. Heat transferred through the plate material, allowing efficient heat transfer. So actually a plate has been pressed together for creating a series of alternative flow channels for both the hot and cold fluids. So basically a couple of plates which press together and connect together for a heat transfer. First, a plate with corrugated patterns create a flow of channel for a fluids. So corrugated pattern is nothing but which helps for the flow of fluids. So hot and cold fluid flow in alternating channel for facilitating a heat exchange. So both hot and cold fluid will flow alternative channel, which good for a heat exchange. The thinness of the plate promotes the efficient heat transfer between the fluids. So as we said earlier, the plate will be very thin and corrugated patterns, which helps for a good heat transfer. Plates are made nothing but it's made up of metal or steel, and made up of a mild steel, which is good for heat transfer, and the durability will be high. So in this slide we can see the pictures of a plate which used for plate heat exchanger. So the plate which is in a corrugated pattern and connected with the gasket. We can see one side of a gasket has been closed, which will prevent heat or cold which flows in a pipe. In the another plate or a gasket connection will be opposite side. For example, first gasket plate or a first plate where heat is absorbed, and the second plate gasket has been connected in opposite side, so which absorbs a cold. So in this way alternatively channels will absorb a particular hot or cold fluid process, or which efficient for a heat transfer. In this picture, we can clearly understand how a cold is absorbed, how the hot fluid is absorbed in the plate. So one side of a plate we sending a cold fluid, obviously in the design of a gasket which absorbs cold in the plates, and another side we are sending a hot fluid. We can clearly see how a plate is absorbs a hot in alternative connection plates. In this image, we can clearly see how a performance of a plate heat exchanger is performing. So before image, we can see how heat has been absorbed in alternative channels. So here we are entering a cold fluid at the top, which heat will be transferred from a hot plate and which heat will be absorbed in a cold plate. This performance will be in alternative and which will performs continuously. On the outlet, we can get a warm temperature, which cold fluid will turns into a warm fluid. And in the another side, we are sending a hot fluid at the bottom. Obviously, heat will be absorbed in a heat plate and heat will be transferred in a cold plate. And the outlet will get a warm water or warm fluid or a less temperature when we compare to a inlet of a fluid. And the next side of a picture, we have a pattern of flow in a plate heat exchanger. It basically shows how a flow of a fluid in a plate heat exchanger. Where on one side of a picture we have both the inlet and outlet of a cold fluid will be in one side, but in the next side of a picture we have a outlet of water and inlet of sorry, outlet of a cold fluid and inlet of a hot fluid will be in one side, which is in the bottom, and the another side we have a outlet of a hot fluid and inlet of a cold fluid at the top of another side. So let us look at the applications where plate heat exchanger has been used. So it is used in a HVAC system for both the residential and industrial applications. And next, it's applied in a chemical industry for heating or cooling process fluid. So basically, it is very used for small scale industries where compact design and easy to maintain. And next, it is utilized in a pasteurization and the sterogenation process in food production and food beverage industries, which is used for prevention of food from bacteria. And next, it is used in a power plant for various heat exchange process, including cooling of turbines, condenser. So it is used for a heating and cooling purpose in a power plant. Let us see the few advantages of a plate heat exchanger. The design allows efficient heat transfer due to the large surface area of the plates. So usually the inner plates which covers a large surface area, which is more efficient for a heat transfer, which we all seen in a previous video. A more surface area which has a more efficient heat transfer. Next, a plate heat exchanger are more compact compared to some other types of heat exchanger, which is saving a space. So this plate heat exchanger will be more compact size when we compare to some other type, which will help in the space saving in the industries. And next, it can be easily expand or modified by adding or removing a plate to adjust the capacity. So we have an external port which helps for connecting a plate, and we can also remove it as per the application required. So which has a more application in uses of industries. The compact and the modular design, a faculty quick and straightforward installation. So it's very compact and which is a similar design. So which is easy for installation, which require less time for installation. No need any external faculty for installations, and it's required a relative low volume of a fluid to reach the thermal equilibrium, reducing the amount of a fluid needs. So basically, it requires a very low volume of fluid for a heat transfer. So which will reduce the amount of fluid needed for the heat transfer. It's due to the design and alternative method of a plate heat exchanger. And the final point, the plate can be easily assessed for a cleaning or replacing, promoting a easy for maintenance. So a plate which can be easily removed and which helps for cleaning and maintenance as well. Though it has many couple of advantages in the application, it has a disadvantages too. It may have a limitation on operating at very high pressure compared to some other types of a heat exchanger types. So it has a limitation in high pressure operation conditions. The narrow flow channel can be susceptible to fouling, which may reduce the efficiency of overtiming. Due to the narrow flow channel, which has a high chance of fouling, which also reduces the efficiency of heat exchanger at the overtime. Mm. The choice of material for the plate is crucial, and a certain material may not be suitable for a specific application. So we need to be very careful in the selection of material for a plates in a plate heat exchanger, and we need to be see the specific application of the material which is applicable for the process as well. And it may have a limitation on handling extremely high or low temperature. Here comes a final summary of a plate heat exchanger, are widely used in various industries due to their high efficiency and compact design and easy of maintenance. Their advantages make them suitable for their application with a moderating to a high heat transfer requirement, but considering such as pressure limitation and a high chance to falling should be taken into the account in the design and the operation of these heat exchangers. And that's all about a plate heat exchanger, and that's all about a heat exchanger as well. Do check out my older videos related to the heat exchanger and industrial process. In this channel, we are regularly posting videos related to the industrial purpose and industrial process. And thanks for watching.